So guys, the 2022 FIFA World Cup is literally just around the corner. We are now in 2019, but 2022 will be here by the time you blink. It's not here yet, but still. You guys know what I'm saying. It will be here very, very soon. It will be the first ever Winter World Cup hosted by Qatar. Very controversial host, but still, it's going to happen. It will happen. And I'm building up towards that. I'm very much anticipating that tournament. Like, you know, I'm gonna be around then, and it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. But what I want to do right now, I want to recap and react to all the AFC 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifying fixtures that has already happened. That was a lot to say, right? But I think I got through it very well. So let's start with Group A, guys. There's 8 groups of 5, which equals to 40 teams in total. With exception to Qatar, 8 group winners will automatically qualify for the third round, along with the 4 best second place teams. If Qatar goes on to top Group E, it means that a 5th second place team will be eligible to qualify for the third round. So let's start with Group A, where there's China, Syria, Maldives, Philippines, and Guam. In the September matches, Maldives defeated Guam 1-0. Syria defeated the Philippines 5-2. The Philippines then defeated Guam 4-1. And China's People Republic smashed Maldives 5-0. For the October fixtures, China defeated Guam 7-0. Like, damn. There was a 4-goal haul by Yang Zhu, and their Brazilian-born player Elkesen was even on the score sheet. It's really nice to see that China are integrating some foreign-born players into their national team. Way to go, China. You have finally waken up. But that was an expected result against a team like Guam, who qualified from the first round. The other October Group A fixture ended in a 2-1 win for Syria. Both of their goals were scored by their superstar forward Omar Al-Somma. Maldives did peg one back, but they didn't have enough in the tank to get past a 10-man Syria. China currently on top of the group with 6 points after 2 matches. Syria are also on 6 points after 2 matches, but with an inferior goal difference to China. Philippines and Maldives are 3rd and 4th on 3 points each, and Guam at the bottom without a point. I expect China to top this group and make it to the third round. I don't really know about Syria. They're very inconsistent, but they do stand a chance to qualify as one of those best second place teams. So now let's move on to Group B, where there's Australia, Jordan, Kuwait, Nepal, and Chinese Taipei. In the September fixtures, Jordan defeated Chinese Taipei 2-1. Kuwait smashed Nepal 7-0. Then Nepal went on to defeat Chinese Taipei 2-0. Australia defeated Kuwait 3-0 on the road. And now in October, Australia defeated Nepal 5-0, courtesy of a hat-trick by Jamie McLaren. The other match between rivals Jordan and Kuwait ended in a very fitting 0-0 draw. So after those matches, Australia are currently on top of the table on 6 points, and I do expect them to top this group and qualify for the third round and possibly for the 2022 World Cup as well. Kuwait are currently 2nd on 4 points, Jordan 3rd on 4 points, Nepal 3rd on 3 points with a solitary win against Chinese Taipei, who are currently at the bottom of the group without a point. So I think Australia should go on to the third round, and Jordan and Kuwait would fight it out for the second place spot. I don't know if any one of these teams are going to come in as one of the best second place teams, because they're not very high scoring teams. So now for Group C, where we have a very, very interesting group with Iran, Iraq, Hong Kong, Cambodia, and Bahrain. For the matches so far in Group C, Cambodia and Hong Kong played to a 1-1 draw in September. Bahrain and Iraq also played to a 1-1 draw. Bahrain defeated Cambodia 1-0. Iran defeated Hong Kong 2-0 on the road. And for the October matches, Iran defeated Cambodia 14-0, and that wasn't their biggest win in their history. I think they defeated Guam or Maldives. I think it's Guam, 19-0 in the past. These goals were scored by 7 different players, including a 4-goal haul by Kareem Ansi-Farad and a hat-trick by Sardar Azmoun. Of course, Azmoun was gonna get in on the act. And this is what you call a beatdown, a blowout that was witnessed by a massive crowd, which included over 3,000 women who were allowed to watch football for the very, very first time in modern Iran. I don't even know if they were allowed to watch football in the past. If you know that, just let me know in the comment section down below. But a lot of women's rights activists fought for this. FIFA got involved and they made it happen. Women can now go out to watch football in Iran. So let's give that one a big round of applause. That's a big W for football. That's a big win for women. Even though the women weren't allowed to be integrated with their families and friends and they were put in their own section and guarded by female officers, it's a big stride for humanity. In the other match, Iraq defeated Hong Kong 2-0, courtesy of goals by their young forward Muhammad Ali and Ali Adnan from the penalty spot. After those matches, Iran are on top the group on 6 points. Of course they are. They should easily qualify for the third round and then to the World Cup without a doubt. Iraq are currently second on 4 points and they are one of the teams I'm pipping to make it to the third round as well. Bahrain are third on 4 points, Hong Kong fifth on 1, and Cambodia, of course, at the bottom on 1 point. So now let's move on to Group D, where there's Singapore, Uzbekistan, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. In the September matches, Singapore and Yemen played to a 2-2 draw. Palestine picked up a big win over Uzbekistan in a game that ended 2-0. Then Singapore defeated Palestine 2-1, and then Yemen pulled off a shocking 2-2 draw against Saudi Arabia. For the October matches, Uzbekistan pulled off a 5-0 win against Yemen, and Saudi Arabia defeated Singapore 3-0. Saudi Arabia currently on top of the group with 4 points, Singapore second 4 points, Uzbekistan third on 3 points, Palestine fourth on 3 points, and Yemen at the bottom on 2 points. I'm backing Saudi Arabia and Uzbekistan to make it to the third round. More so Saudi Arabia over Uzbekistan. So let's move on to Group E, where there's Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Oman, India, and the 2022 World Cup host Qatar. Remember guys, if Qatar plays first in this group, it will allow for a fifth best second place team to make it to the third round. The results so far in the group are as follows. India lost to Oman 2-1. Qatar defeated Afghanistan 6-0. Afghanistan defeated Bangladesh 1-0. India pulled off a shocking 0-0 draw against the current Asian champions Qatar, and Oman defeated Afghanistan 3-0. After those matches, Qatar currently on top the group on 7 points, Oman second 6 points, Afghanistan third 3 points, India fourth 1 point, and Bangladesh at the bottom without a point. For Group F, where we have Japan, Myanmar, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Mongolia, here are the fixtures that happened so far. Mongolia defeated Myanmar 1-0. Tajikistan defeated Kyrgyz Republic 1-0. Japan picked up an obvious 2-0 win against Myanmar, and Tajikistan defeated Mongolia 1-0 on the road. As for the October matches, Japan defeated Mongolia 6-0. Well, that was expected, but I didn't expect them to feel such a strong team against Mongolia. Talk about not underestimating your opponent. And for the other match, Kyrgyz Republic smashed Myanmar 7-0. So there was a lot of goals in Group F. So after those fixtures, Japan are currently on top of the table on 6 points, Tajikistan second 6 points, Kyrgyz Republic third 3 points, Mongolia fourth 3 points, and Myanmar at the bottom without a point. So guys, now for the Southeast Asian group. Group G. It's all Southeast Asian teams with the exception of the United Arab Emirates. You're talking about Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. So I don't really understand how the UAE got themselves sandwiched in this group, but they're doing quite well. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. For the results so far in Group G, Thailand 0, Vietnam 0, Indonesia 2, Malaysia 3, Indonesia 0, Thailand 3, Malaysia 1, the UAE 2. For the October matches, Vietnam scraped past Malaysia 1-0, courtesy of one of their best young prospects, Win Quang Hai. I actually thought that Win Kang Phom and Win On Duke was their best players, but someone schooled me. They messaged me on Instagram. I think they're from Vietnam, and they said Win Quang Hai is the best player in Vietnam right now, and he is proven to be that player. So guys, keep your eye on that name, Win Quang Hai. And I do think Vietnam stand a great chance of making it to the third round. Let me just put that on wax right now. For the other match, the UAE smashed Indonesia 5-0. So I told you they're doing well in this group. After those matches, the UAE are currently on top of the table with 6 points, Thailand second on 4 points, Vietnam third on 4 points, Malaysia fourth 3 points, and Indonesia at the bottom without a point. So the UAE, I think, will definitely make it to the third round. The second spot is up for grabs between Thailand and Vietnam. So for the final group, Group H, where we have North Korea, South Korea, Turkmenistan, Sri Lanka, and Lebanon. For the matches so far, North Korea defeated Lebanon 2-0. Turkmenistan defeated Sri Lanka 2-0. Then Turkmenistan 0, South Korea 2. Sri Lanka 0, North Korea 1. For the October matches, South Korea smashed Sri Lanka 8-0. Guys, we are going to see a lot more of these score lines. The 14-0s, the 8-0s, the 7-0s, the 9-0s. We are going to see them from the bigger teams. The goal scorers included Kim Shin-wook with a hat-trick and Han Min-sun with a brace. That would do a world of good for Son's confidence since he's been struggling quite a lot with Tottenham Hotspur. They conceded 10 goals in 2 matches against Bayern Munich and Brighton Hove Albion. I meant Bayern Hove Albion. And I must also note that the Red Bull Salzburg star man Hwang Hee-chan bagged the goal, just like he did against Liverpool last week. So the future for South Korea looks bright, and I do think they're one of the favorites to qualify for the third round, of course, and make it to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. For the other match, Lebanon picked up a much-needed 2-0 win against Turkmenistan. So after those games, South Korea are on top of the table on 6 points, North Korea second in the table on 6 points, Turkmenistan third, 3 points, Lebanon 4, 3 points, and Sri Lanka at the bottom without a point. I'm pipping North and South Korea to qualify for the third round. So guys, what I'm basically doing, I'm making sure that I'm covering every single thing when it comes to the 2022 World Cup, including all the qualifiers, even in the preliminary rounds. I know a lot of people are ignoring these matches, and when the main qualifying games come around, you'll see them come out of the shadows, but not me. We have more matches next Tuesday on the 15th of October 2019. I'll come back sometime after then to give a recap. So guys, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button for Asia, and in the comment section down below, let me know who you think are going to make it to the third round. From your boy Dominic Rich, I like to say thanks for watching again. Peace out. Rich Squad.